On this episode of Graphic Man, we've decided to do a rendition of Batman 104. Now I'll be showing you the original. This cover was done by Sheldon Moldoff, and I decided I wanted to get a copy of that, but once again, I can't afford the original, and I can't find it. So, in the meantime, I decided to make my own version of it. And I use basic ink pens and markers as usual. I'm going to get in close so you can see the detail of Batman and Robin. I had to go very light pen on those guys because any thick marker would make the drawings too bold. I'm afraid this isn't turning out as good as I'd hoped, but hopefully you can get a little bit of that detail there. And I'm going to scroll down for you. So there you have it. One detail, this letter M in the title. I never noticed it, but when you go up with the letter M and then you come down in the middle, it's supposed to be kind of like a perfect angle, a V, but it's off center. It's not exactly lining up with the bottom point of the letter M there. So when you're doing the lettering, it can be very difficult. Now, I cheated, yes, once again. This great looking Comics Code stamp in the top corner there, I didn't draw that. I found a copy of that online and I printed it out and posted up there like a paste up that many times the original art would do. They'd paste up the title and things of that sort. But once again, I chose something that had a lot of detail. I'll try to get in real close. You see all the gray and all the little bitty lines they had to do for the details, for the scales of the big dragon. And it's that big dragon that I really wanted. So I trust that turned out okay, or as close to okay as you can get. Alright, so that's Batman 104. Hopefully that'll inspire you to make your own copy, make your own version. And so now it's once again the most popular part of our show, some random books. Here's Walt Disney's Comics and Stories. It's a great little gag cover. The boys have one nickel and they cannot agree on what to get. Fantastic. Another Walt Disney's Comics and Stories. Once again, a great gag cover. The gag is supposed to make you want to buy this. See, the boys are really having fun here. Poor Donald just can't get a good nap anywhere. Now here's a great one. Here's Conga. Conga number 3. Would you look at that fish monster? This cover art was by Dick Giordano, and I sure hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The inside artwork is Steve Ditko, and that is Conga. October 1961, I believe. Kind of just before Spider-Man. I guess Marvel didn't mind Ditko moonlighting a little bit every now and then with Carlton. I guess they didn't think Carlton was any competition to them. Here's Scamp number 5. He's on the lam, hiding from the authorities. A true rebel. Now, I like to call this the Beatles cover, but it's not really a Beatles cover. But this is Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, number 288. And the reason I call it Beatles, by the way, the great Carl Barks did the artwork. If you look closely at the musicians in the background, now you'll probably see why I tend to think of it as a Beatles cover, because this came out in 1964. And guess who was invading our country in 1964? The Beatles. Here's the superhero Dracula from Dell Comics. And yeah, it's a little... the bag is not a Mylar because, well, I didn't think this one deserved a very expensive Mylar, but it's a very wild read. Dell there experimented with making some of the more scary and probably off limits at the time of the comics code, the more crazy monsters like Dracula and Frankenstein, making them into superheroes. Here's Lost in Space, number 35. Those gold key painted covers are just outstanding. My holding a book and avoiding glare is not outstanding, however. Another Lost in Space. This was number 58. Strange Tales, number 113. The Human Torch versus the glare is terrible here. There we go. Versus Plant Man. Yes, he can make plants do anything he wants to. He'd probably be a millionaire helping people's gardens, but no, he decides to attack the Human Torch, and don't we wish we all could do that. Fantastic Four number 6. Not really high grade, but still pretty good. It's lost a little bit of its color, but it's the oldest Fantastic Four I have. Number 7. I'll be showing you 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Here's number 8. I'll only show you very briefly because I know some of you guys are high-grade snobs, and well, you'd probably pass out if somebody showed you something, in rough condition. You'd get the vapors. Here's Fantastic Four number 25, the Hulk versus Thing. Great story, great Jack Kirby art, but they had a terrible inker on the art, and it practically ruins it, just as they ruined number 26, the follow-up conclusion. Great book if you want the Fantastic Four, the Hulk, and the Avengers all together in one book. Once again, the inker, I'll be nice and not mention his name, but he pretty much ruined it. Here's number 31, the Mole Man. Great cover there. Number 36, lost a little bit of its color. Notice Medusa's hair going way up high. I don't know what it's supposed to be attached to. Probably a helicopter that's in hover mode. Those were very popular, all the rage. Number 37, A Distant Star. This is the revenge issue. They go back to the Skrull home planet to get some revenge. Got a few Fantastic Four here. Not as random as I'd hoped. I usually like to have a nice eclectic mix. Here's number 41. Once again, your host will learn to do a better job. The glare. 42. I know what you're thinking. Sometimes it's better when he just shuts up. And here's number 44. I don't have all of them here. My run was number 6 through the end, 416, I believe, even though I didn't care for the last few issues of the Fantastic Four. When I was a young lad, all of a sudden in this issue, number 44, Reed and Sue are married. As you can see, what a way to spend a honeymoon. And as an avid collector, I couldn't figure out when did they get married. I didn't know anything about annuals. It was an annual number 3. Didn't get one at the time. However, they reprinted that a few times. It's available in annual number 10 as well. Here's the Inhumans. This is issue number 45. And it really does look good in spite of this glare. There we go. Oh, when I said I had number 6 through, is it 416, I neglected that. I don't have 48. I never had 48. Too expensive. I have reprints, of course. Here's my issue of 49. I had this when I was a little boy. I was not the original owner, by the way. And you'll notice that the previous owner, probably one of my childhood friends that I traded with, he decided to make Sue a redhead. And I kind of thought she looked pretty good as a redhead. But, so no, that's not exactly a mint condition. Sorry about that. My copy of number 50. It has a crease down the middle. Hopefully no one will faint at that. Great Silver Surfer. You can see our expensive lamps in the glare. We spare no expense here at Graphic Man Vault. Number 51. Probably one of the best stories. It's often raved and reviews about this one. We better speed this up. First appearance of the Black Panther. There he is. The next issue, 53, this would be the second appearance of Black Panther, but the first appearance of the Claw, the Master of Sound. Great looking cover here, number 54. Duke of the Canine Patrol. I told you we'd be more eclectic at some point. Now, I absolutely have been looking for this one for a long time. There we go. It's a great gold key. There was only one issue. And, however, years later, I found a action toy named Duke. I'm showing you images of those right now. Duke was a toy, but this was produced by Kenner about 9 years later. And I can't find any reference where this Duke was referring to this 1963 Duke. So it must be a totally different thing. It must be a coincidence. However, this book, Duke of the Canine Patrol, it may have inspired the toy. I'm not sure. I can't prove that. I always thought they were connected, and then I realized, no, there's really no connection. Iron Man number 8. The great George Tuska artwork on that cover. A Twilight Zone, number 68. This is January 1976. The Shadow, number 1. Mike Kaluta artwork. DC Comics. Great looking. Especially when we take a look at the gun and the face. Almost near the end. Journey into Mystery, number 57. Have some chipping here on this edge. So hopefully no one faints once again. Journey into Mystery 57. Great monster cover. Tales to Astonish 93, the Hulk and Silver Surfer. And we'll finish on a Tales to Astonish 22. 22. This is before Ant-Man. we go. All right, one last time on the Batman. The Batman 104. Hopefully this will inspire you to take up pen and paper and draw. And it doesn't matter if you're any good. Just give it a good shot. Try to find something that has a lot of detail in it and do your best. And that'll do it for today's installment of Graphic Man. I decided to move the lights around. It probably didn't work. We won't do that again. So anyway, happy drawing.